12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
A man dead tonight blocks away from Broadway and the Pearl. San Antonio police say a man shot and killed on East Grayson tonight, across the street from where the Fort Sam Houston boundaries began.
So police are saying that at this time the suspect is still out there. The night team's Avery Everett joins us now after speaking with police. And Avery, at this point we know they're considering multiple suspects here.
Yeah, and part of that is because of the rapid gunfire that residents reported. Anywhere from 10 to 20 rounds is what I'm told. Residents and neighbors tell me it literally sounded like fireworks, and police say it was enough to kill that man. Now, I'm not going to give you a look at the scene right now because the medical examiner just arrived and they're working to transport that man's body into their vehicle. But I want to show you some video from earlier tonight that shows San Antonio police investigating a silver car. They say they found that man dead inside with multiple gunshot wounds. Now, they have not yet identified him, but they do believe he was alone. We don't know his identity at this time, and we don't know if he lived here or not. Right now, police are still searching this area, and they say they found a lot of different shell casings. I can see at least 18 evidence markers. To some people who live nearby, this all comes as a shock.
Nothing like this has ever happened on this street. It's usually quiet, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. So this is insane to us. That's why we're all like, what in the hell's going on?
SAPD does say that they'll have this Grayson Street blocked off for the next couple of hours as they continue their investigation. I do want to reiterate that we don't know the identity of this man yet, and the San Antonio Police Department says they're looking at multiple suspects, but they say right now there is no danger to the public. As we learn more about this incident, we'll keep you updated on KSAT.com. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. Now to the latest on a local story. It's making local and national headlines. It's been 8 days, more than a week, since Suzanne Clark Simpson was last seen and heard from.
The missing mother of 4 was last seen late last Sunday. Her husband, Brad Simpson, has been sitting in jail since Wednesday after being arrested on charges of assault, family violence, and unlawful restraint. But right now, he's not facing charges in Suzanne's disappearance.
Yeah, the night team's John Paul Barajas walks us through the Texas Department of Public Safety's latest search efforts.
A landfill in southeast Bexar County is the latest location Texas Rangers and DPS are taking over in hopes of finding answers to where Suzanne Simpson is. The search of the area is tied to a sealed search warrant, according to sources. The warrant was signed Saturday after being filed under seal by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Two sources familiar with the investigation told KSAT. Sealed warrants are common in federal cases, but are rarely used in county cases. The seal can remain in place for up to 31 days and only can be used if an attorney establishes in court that publicly disclosing the contents of the warrant would harm the case. As for the search itself, a Texas Ranger on scene said nothing of significance was found today, and at request of DPS, we are not disclosing the exact location of the landfill.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why it happened. It wasn't part of their life.
Suzanne's mom, Barbara Clark, spoke publicly for the first time at a vigil over the weekend, saying she's leaning on her faith. Suzanne, a well-known local realtor, was last seen 2 Sundays ago wearing a black dress and heels. Almost Park police say she was at the Argyle, a private club in Alamo Heights. They add there was reports of an altercation between Suzanne and her husband Brad at the club, and then a physical altercation at the Simpsons Almost Park home.
Brad Simpson was arrested last Wednesday on charges of assault, family violence, and unlawful restraint. He is not facing any charges in connection to Suzanne's disappearance at this time. His bond is set at $2 million.
Brad was set to be in a bond reduction hearing Tuesday, but that has been canceled due to a federal hold being placed on him by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. As for the exact reason why, ATF has not confirmed. So far, DPS has searched the Simpsons' home, the surrounding Almost Park neighborhood, an empty field next to a shopping center in Bernie, and now the landfill in southeast Bexar County, where investigators will be again Tuesday morning. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
It feels like we're talking about dog attacks more and more in the news. So that's what prompted us to invite Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar to our KSAT Q&A during the 6 o'clock news to talk about this issue. When asked what can be done to prevent more of these attacks from happening, the sheriff said BCSO is separating out their animal cruelty investigators and forming a standalone unit to focus specifically on animal crimes. The sheriff also mentioned that it's good that there's more awareness about the issue, and it's important for people to report vicious dogs so his department can track them better.
I mean, and maybe part of that is not necessarily that we're seeing it more. It's just more people are apt to call it into law enforcement. But again, I think these are things that people didn't necessarily call law enforcement that now they are, and that's okay. That's a good thing.
The sheriff also talked about the recent arrests of Venezuelan gang members in San Antonio and if the public should be concerned about them. You can watch our full conversation with him online at KSAT.com and the KSAT YouTube channel. Important to note, the sheriff is up for re-election next year and is facing opponent Nathan Buchanan. We reached out to him for a comment on these topics as well. We have his statement posted online.
Emotional testimony today from two mothers connected to one deadly case. Today, the mother of a young girl who was killed addressed the mother of the man who pulled the trigger as that man was sentenced to 70 years in prison. 21-year-old Nathaniel Melendez was convicted of shooting and killing 16-year-old Evelyn Gumbardo and injuring two others at a party back in August. Evelyn's mother faced Melendez in court today, along with Melendez's mother.
But it's not gonna bring her back. It's not gonna bring her back to us from mother to mother. No one should ever have to go through anything like this. My heart is broken, and I know yours is too.
So now Melendez is going to be taken to prison, and he's going to be eligible for parole after he serves 30 years. Switching gears now, are you ready for this? Are you ready? I mean, 1 week from today, you're going to be able to start voting. You're going to choose not only the new president. If you're in San Antonio, you're also going to vote on charter amendments. And elsewhere, you're also going to be choosing school board leaders.
Yeah, you have a lot of decisions to make. And we have a sample ballot on KSAT.com right now for you to look over. Just scan the QR code, head to the election section of our website. You can also get a copy of your personal ballot.
Yeah, Bexar County election officials encourage you to print your personal voting ballot, mark the candidates or the items that you'd like to vote for, and then take that paper with you when you submit your official vote, because it's going to help save some time. Early voting, by the way, is going to be from October 21st through November 1st. And of course, Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th.
And I'm going to vote for change.
Yeah.
Change in the weather.
Yep, there we go.
That's my vote right now.
Yeah, the real deal cold front's on the way in the sense that we're going to see fall-like conditions and more seasonable temperatures on the way. And it's going to arrive tomorrow night. You'll feel it first thing on Wednesday. Take a look at our high temperature trend going forward. Now, tomorrow's going to be another record day. 96 the high temperature, but then look at that difference. There's the change. 77 for the high. That's as warm as it's going to get on Wednesday, 77 degrees. And then we only moderate into the lower 80s by the upcoming weekend. Today was record-breaking, 98 the high. That's 3 degrees warmer than the previous record high temperature. Tomorrow, we start the day at 65, 88 at noon, 96 by the afternoon, and that would be a degree above the record high. Wall-to-wall sunshine. We'll talk about the impact to the morning low temperatures, rain chances, and the comet. Some photos from tonight, just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. Now to a KSAT investigation. A school district fighting to keep some of the superintendent's conversations under wraps.
And we're talking specifically about the San Antonio ISD superintendent, Jaime Aquino. He has a professional development coach. It's one of several perks that are outlined in his contract. The district is fighting, though, the release of those records tied to that very relationship.
It is one of the several issues tied to SAISD that our KSAT Investigates team has looked into. For the first time, Superintendent Aquino agreed to sit down with our Daniela Ibarra.
This is the first time that we're sitting down with you. What would you say to people who might be frustrated that it took this long for you to answer our questions?
I am here to serve my students, my teachers, my parents, and families. And that is my commitment.
Tomorrow on the Nightbeat, how the superintendent says that personal coach that we told you about a moment ago helps him, and why a parent says that he has the right to know about those conversations. That's tomorrow.
This coming weekend about celebrating, honoring, and remembering those impacted by blood cancer. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's annual Walk Light the Night. Scan the QR code on your screen to sign up for Team KSAT to make a donation. We have a goal of raising $5,000 We need your help to get there.
Daniela Ibarra, you see her picture right there, is going to MC the event on Saturday at Civic Park at Hemisphere at 6 p.m. You're going to be seeing different colored lanterns. Survivors are going to be carrying the white ones. The red ones will be carried by supporters, and people who are going to be walking in memory of loved ones who passed away from blood cancer will be carrying the gold lanterns. We'll see you out there.
Like we mentioned earlier, we are getting closer to Election Day, and the presidential candidates making a big push in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
You know what else is around the corner? Yeah, the holidays. I can't believe we're talking about that already. We have some important dates for you to mark your calendar, and those stories and more coming up on the Night.
Originally called Mary's Gold, the marigold is named after the Virgin Mary. But in Mexico, it's called cempasúchil, the flower of the dead. Placed on graves and used to decorate altars during the Day of the Dead, it's believed the flower's vibrant colors and strong scent can lure souls back to the living. Since they bloom in early summer and die at fall's first frost, they also symbolize the fragility of life. The name cempasúchil is Aztec and roughly translated to flower of many petals. For the Aztecs, the flower was sacred, and its bright color represented the sun. Native to the Americas, it was cultivated for decorative, magical, medicinal, and agricultural purposes. They were thought to cure hiccups and were often planted near crops. As a matter of fact, the marigold produces a natural insecticide. Once Spanish explorers discovered the hardy plant, they took the seeds back to Europe. Now hundreds of varieties grow across the globe, including India, where the marigold has become an important ceremonial flower. For Hindus, the marigold symbolizes surrender to the divine. That guy seemed to know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
All right, just 22 days left until the presidential election, and Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are making a big push, both in Pennsylvania today.
It's a battleground state that many see as essential to winning the race. It has 19 electoral votes. ABC's Zohreen Shah has the latest now on the race for the White House.
Tonight, with the polls between VP Harris and former President Trump now closer than they've ever been, both candidates in the must-win state of Pennsylvania. ABC News' latest Ipsos poll showing Harris with 50 points and Trump with 48 among voters. But the real key to who is ahead in the race is looking at the polls in the 7 battleground states, nearly all of them recently within the margin of error, essentially tied. Harris appears to be inching closer to Trump when it comes to voter confidence on the economy, with inflation and interest rates settling, and the stock market hitting another high today. Harris here speaking at a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, making her case.
We are focused on issues that matter most to families across America, like bringing down the cost of living, investing in small businesses and entrepreneurs.
Trump saying this about the economy in Pennsylvania.
We were doing numbers like you wouldn't believe for the farmer. But the farmers are very badly hurt. The farmers in this country, we're going to get them straightened out. We're going to get your prices down.
Before her rally, Harris stopping at a black-owned business in Erie in western Pennsylvania, pushing that her policies will lift up everyone.
Black men are no different from anybody else. They expect that you have to earn their vote. And that's why I'm out here doing the work that I'm doing about talking with folks, listening with folks, because I'm running for president of the United States. And it is incumbent on me to earn the support.
Trump trying to reach out to the same demographic.
I love black men. I love them. I love them. I have gone through the roof with black men.
Zohreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, if you'd like to plan ahead, the U.S. Postal Service has announced holiday shipping cutoff dates.
That's right. The holidays, they're going to come up fast, right, before we know it. So in order to get your gift to its destination on time, these are the dates right there. You want to mark on your calendars. USPS is recommending that packages are sent no later than December 21st. Now, that's for Priority Mail Express service, which is faster and usually costs more.
Less expensive options, first-class mail, must go out by December 18th. The cutoff for ground service, December 16th.
So December 16th, that's the date, right? The least expensive one. Just to note, these are all for shipments within the U.S., not including Hawaii or Alaska. If you want a complete list of holiday mailing and shipping dates, you can find those also on USPS.com.
The only problem is I'm not usually done shopping by December 21st.
Steve and I are at Christmas Eve. You know,
December 24th. Yeah.
You've got till midnight.
Right.
Right? You have plenty of time.
Like I said, there's nothing like a jerky Christmas.
You stop at Buc-ee's, you pick up some snacks and wrap them up. There you go.
So romantic. Ladies, I can't believe you guys are both taken.
You're welcome, guys out there. You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
It reminds me of when I was younger, my brother and I would go to the basement to wrap our gifts into each other. We'd put it in a paper bag and duct tape it. Here you go. Thanks, man. Here you go.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah.
I'm not seeing a problem with that.
That was good for us.
Yeah.
We had to do better for Mom. We did do better for Mom, okay? All right, let's get to our high temperatures tomorrow. 96 in San Antonio. That's a new record by 1 degree, assuming that verifies. Even Comfort 94, Bend, 95, Floresville, Nixon 97. But then, look at the difference a day makes. This will be Wednesday in the afternoon. We're not going to get out of the 70s in most of our area. Briefly hitting 80 in Floresville and Poteet, 81 Pleasanton, but 70s for high temperatures. Let's just savor this map. Oh, the cool front, it's moving in. Here's our weather pattern. We still have a big blue H overhead. This upper level high is pushing down on us. However, notice this big counterclockwise swirl, this big cutoff low that's dropping southward into the U.S. That's got the cooler air, and it's going to bring some of it to our neck of the woods. We were 98 degrees today, but Chicago only 57, Detroit 56, Minneapolis 51. Obviously, it's not going to be that cool for high temperatures, but it gives you an idea of how much cooler that air is, actual real fall cool front headed our way. And that cooler air is going to make it here. Tomorrow night, the cold front hits, and then you'll notice it Wednesday morning. Some gusty winds out of the northeast, that dry air out of the north, and also cooler temperatures. And notice eastern 2/3 of the lower 48 being impacted by this real fall cool front. And the key is behind it, we're not going to see a rapid warm up either. If we did, you'd notice those oranges on the map here. We're not going to have a quick warm up immediately after this front. The impacts will last a little bit. Notice the morning temperature, 65 tomorrow. We're 61 on Wednesday morning. Then by Thursday, that's our low point. We're at 55 degrees to start the day. If you ask me, this is windows open at night kind of weather. You just pop those windows if the allergens don't bother you. That's the key. But oh man, good temperatures on the way. Now here's a look at our rain chances. We have later this week this upper level low dropping in. It's not going to get close enough and set itself up to be in northern Mexico to give us the good energy, but we have a 20% chance Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So minimal rain chances going forward. Those highs dropping to 77 on Wednesday, breezy. Additional cloud cover keeping us just in the lower 80s by this upcoming weekend. By the way, if you missed the comet this evening, you do have a few more opportunities, 40 minutes after sunset looking off to the west. And here's some photos. And I do want to point out your camera, the sensitive technology in your camera will see this comet better than the naked eye. It's fairly hazy to the naked eye, but your camera picks it up better. That was a telescope image there.
Okay, I was like,
that was from a
telescope. Was that?
So you have a few more opportunities. Good will be tomorrow night when it's clear. 40 minutes after sunset, just above the horizon to the right of the planet Venus. And hey, if you have binoculars, they can help you see it.
Okay, that's looking west. I'm looking to Friday. Big game coverage, right? I can't believe we're already in week 8.
Week 8.
Good teams for game of the week.
Yes, so our game of the week is going to feature Burbank and Sam Houston. And the winner of this game is pretty much going to be in the driver's seat to win District 12 5A D2 championship. And in college football, Coach Sark really needs his guys to focus this week. Coming up.
Our theme of the week is in the 46-year drought. We haven't had a district title here in 46 years, and we know that this game is going to have a great impact on who wins the district title for this district.
Coach Mull and his Burbank Bulldogs are looking to make school history, but first they have to get through Sam Houston in big board sports. The last time the Burbank Bulldogs won a district championship in football was back in 1978. Jimmy Carter was president of the United States, and the average price of gas was 65 cents per gallon. Now the Bulldogs enter our game of the week this Friday night, 4-2 overall and 2-0 in District 12-5A2. They're predicted by Dave Campbell's Texas Football to win district and end that very long drought. Last week, the Bulldogs beat Highlands 45-7, pushing their winning streak to 2 games in a row.
It's important that we keep the momentum because we got a big team coming up, and we know that this game could lead up to whoever is going to win district, and we just got to continue being the most physical team in SISD and just don't let up and keep on getting better as the week goes on.
You know, Sam Houston, they always come with a lot of energy. They always come high-intensity football. They have a lot of speed on their side of the ball, so, you know, it just wakes us up to let them know that they're here, and we just got to play with our Bulldog way.
Like I said, they're very well coached. Their speed, and I had a coach when I was in high school that always said, how do you stop speed? You hit it. And we're going to have to be the more physical team because they are faster than us. So, you know, all week long we talk about being the more physical team, winning in the trenches, and that's what it's going to take to win the game.
The Sam Houston Hurricanes enter our game of the week 4-3 and 3-0 in district action. So far in district games, the Canes have knocked off Brackenridge, Edison, and Lanier. And just like Burbank, they're undefeated in district, and they want to keep it that way. They know Burbank is a really good team, thanks in large part to their quarterback, Kevin Hernandez.
I know their QB, Scrambler, man. He does his stuff. You know, we got to make sure we keep him contained, keep him inside the pocket, and not let him loose.
Absolutely. This is the number 1 seed spot right here. Whoever win it, take it off.
Burbank, yeah, they're a good football team. They got a good D-line, got good defense, got good offense, got good quarterback, but we could get on top of them fast. We're going to win this ball game.
Very tough, man. Tough O-line, tough D-line. Great athletes, man. Good quarterback. Just ready to get after it, man. But no, just got a lot of respect for them. Haven't beat them in 2 years. This is my 3rd year going against them. So definitely want to break that streak for sure.
It's our game of the week this Friday night, Sam Houston versus Burbank, 7 p.m. at the SAISD Sports Complex. First place in District 12-5A2 is on the line. After claiming the Golden Hat Trophy, number 1 Texas will next face the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs, and a lot of college football fans will be paying attention to this one. It will be just the 3rd top 5 matchup in Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium history, with the other 2 being in 2006 and 1970. But this isn't the only major event going on in Austin this weekend, so Coach Sark really needs his guys to stay focused this week.
A lot happening in Austin this weekend with F1, with College Game Day being here, and I think to the point I made to the players, we need to continue to stay enamored with us and what we need to do and focus on the task at hand, and not get caught up in what you guys are talking about or anybody else is talking about. It's not what other people say. It's actually about what we do. It's about our action, and we can control what we can control, and that was today's walkthrough and implementation of the game plan, and then focus on it one day at a time from there. So great challenge, great opportunity. I know our players are looking forward to it, like I said, against a very good opponent.
Coach said wideout Isaiah Bond is day-to-day with an ankle injury, and that defensive back Derek Williams Jr. will miss the rest of the season, though it's unclear what he is dealing with. Coach Traylor is disappointed after the break. UTSA lost at Rice 29-27 Saturday night, allowing the Owls to take the lead with 4 seconds left in the game. 16 penalties for 146 yards really hurt the Roadrunners.
I thought the penalties would be cleaned up much better. We worked really hard on that all 2 weeks. That was the emphasis of the 2 weeks, and that was disheartening. And then obviously the injuries in the game, that was disheartening. And then the way obviously our locker room feels right now after 2 weeks in a row battling back from fourth quarter deficits to have the chance to win the game in both of them and not coming home with one of them. That was very disappointing.
UTSA will host Florida Atlantic for homecoming this Saturday at the Alamo Dome at 2:30 p.m.
Hope they turn it around.
Same here.
Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back.
We're going to revisit that photo that we quickly flashed through. This is the view of the comet this evening from a telescope. And then we have a few others, Johnson City area, and kissing under the comet.
Aww. Beautiful. I love that.
That
Well, that does it for us here. Don't forget that GMSA starts at 5.